Good morning, everybody. This is Lindsey Hellison back in the building with another SPS Monday Motivation. Hope you had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. Sunday was funny. Rain, sun, little monsoon. But hey, here we are. Bright Monday. Hey, and it's a great day, guys. No matter what you went through, if you're able to hear my voice, you're able to get up and move around, you got great opportunity to make life a great, great thing. And what is today's Monday motivation? Adversity is promise. And no, folks, I'm not trying to be morbid. I'm not trying to get off on a negative road. Like, Lindsay, why are you talking about that? It's like some doomsday. No, I'm just saying that whatever you are trying to do or achieve, there's probably going to be a challenge associated with it. There's going to be some adversity. And adversity doesn't necessarily have to be a bad, horrible thing. It doesn't have to be a thing that has to be so horrible for your life, but it's just a reality that I think if we remind ourselves of that, we're better suited for things as they happen, and there are things that we can do going forward. And we will talk about that today. So happy to have you guys here. But what is adversity defined as? Adversity is defined by some as a state of hardship. Excuse me for a second. I'm clicking, but I'm not seeing. So give me a moment. May have a little delay in what's going on with the technology. So bear with me. But I do know I can pull this up somewhere else just to give you the definition. Uh, Adversity, that is. I think we might be set now. Technical glitch, but we okay. There we go. It's a little delayed, so we'll see what happens with this. Adversity is a state of hardship, difficulty, or misfortune. No, we don't like that definition because who wants to think about hardship, difficulty, and misfortune? But I will remind you that in your quest to achieve certain things in life and have certain things, there's going to be next levels. I can't help but be reminded. I had a great experience yesterday. Shout out to Keith Tate. Was over at School Days Foundation. They had a great open gym workout with some outstanding young athletes. It was three courts at the legendary Eastern Fieldhouse. Great runs going on. I'm seeing these young men get up and down. Many I knew, great people around, from coaches to just sports stakeholders. But what's apropos about this conversation is that these young men are trying to achieve something. They're trying to go to the next level in their high school game and hopefully their college game. So they're going to be challenges along the way. So adversity is a part of our everyday life when we're trying to achieve things and do things. Like, hey, be prepared. There are challenges ahead. So let's go a little bit deeper. If you want to look at it from a biblical standpoint, biblical truths affirm that God's goal for our adversity is our spiritual growth. Adversity is the Lord's most effective way of deepening our faith and commitment to Him. After He has brought us through it, the foundation of our trust in Him is strengthened. That's one thing. After you go through something, and whether you take it from a spiritual standpoint or not, you feel a level of confidence of what you can achieve within that space going forward. Now, we may not welcome the adversity, we may not welcome the challenge, but I think many of us can agree that after you go through something, you look back and you've been forged, you've been, going through a crucible, and you become a different being going forward. Also, overcoming adversity is about taking an honest look at our own knowledge and skills, acknowledging your shortcomings and working to improve them every day. In addition to the skills that tie directly to your profession or goal, work on the things that will benefit you no matter what your goal is. We'll talk about that a little later, but I think it's difficult because sometimes we don't want to address our shortcomings. And I'm kind of in the middle on that because you don't want to spend too much time on what your shortcomings are when you can be accenting the positive, but also you want to look at, okay, what skills do I need to work on? I mentioned School Days Foundation, those young men there. It would be great for many of them to come off the court and say, hey, coach, you saw me there, what's some things you think I can work on improving, and really work on that diligently and not having their head down about what's going on and what's happening. I got Michelle Mimi Watkins. I just thought about you on my television. When the television is not playing, it plays reels from my phone. I just saw a cool picture of Kyra and I at one of her speed camps and made me smile because you guys have always been nothing but a blessing to the people you come in contact with and touch. And I'm happy to have you as my friend. So again, good morning, Michelle. Thank you for stepping in. Talk about adversity being promised. Uh, let's get some help with this. Tony Robbins, master motivator, on his website, he talks about learning how to overcome adversity. And he has 10 things that he discusses that I think would be helpful for this conversation. One, he talks about saying, be prepared. Be prepared for the things that's going to come, and just know it's not going to be, as the book once said, life ain't no crystal stair. You got to know that going forward, there are going to be some challenges, but it doesn't mean that you have to live with heartache and pain and be sad and down. Just know it's going to be a little challenge. I'm going to get up and go to the gym later. I'm going to push that weight. And I know it's not just going to be easy. I'm not going to pick it up with one finger. I'm going to have to work hard to push that. But that adversity I go through and pushing away is helping me by strengthening me, staying healthy, staying strong going forward. So all them little boys that want to come around my daughter can take a step back. Anyway, that's another conversation. That's daddy talk. Uh, Also, practice positivity. This is very important. It really talks about framing. Really important that you can frame things that happen. You can put it in perspective. If something happens, how do you look at that and say, okay, how can I learn something from that? How can this work to my advantage going forward? Got my brother Xavier Andrews in the morning. What's up, brother? You said your trip got canceled. I'm not sure where you was headed to, but I saw your social media post. I hope you're doing well. This brother is a beacon, always lighting it up, not just saying when he's playing basketball, when he touches down for the Moneyball Pro-Am, but just his personality, his smile, but just a genuine dude, man. I appreciate your positivity and energy, man. So I hope you're doing well. But we had to be able to put things in perspective. You know, your trip couldn't happen. So think about, hey, the trip didn't happen, got canceled. Hey, how can that work better? Maybe I can stay and work on this. I can spend some time with this, whatever it may be, but try to practice the positivity. Also, staying focused on the goal. What is it the goal is? I had one of my partners reach out to me privately and say, hey, man, what is he trying to do going forward? And it was great because it says, what's the greater goal you're working on? It's easy to be distracted, especially when things aren't happening the way you want them to, so you can lose that focus going forward. My brother X says, living and breathing, man. Can't even complain too much. We really can't. We really can't. You put it in perspective. Or as Mama would say, I give you something to complain about, right? We don't want life to smack us, to really remind us. Find the lesson, guys. And I know some people say, man, you just too positive. I'm not saying they say it to me, but you have people within your network who just really don't want to come off that and they're in a negative space. But you got to find the lesson in this experience. Find the lesson in what you're going through. Okay, what can I learn from this? Somebody said, hey, you never lose, you just learn. I think that's a great attitude to have. And sometimes people can be so mad at you for being so positive, but that's a great perspective to have. Also, 6, work on your skills. X, you know what that's about. You're a ball player. You know what it takes. You play above the rim. You know, it may say, you know what, if I'm going to keep playing, I want to extend my game, I got to work on a few other things because I won't always be the above the rim guy. I got to work on the mid range. I mean, that's just from a sports standpoint. But whatever else may be, in my PhD program, working on your research skills, that's what we're talking about as a cohort. What other strategies are you using to be able to manage all this research for whatever topic you may have when you got 100 sites that you're trying to put together and put them in order. So work on your skills and don't be afraid of that. My brother says, most definitely. I got you, brother. I feel you, man. Good brother, good brother. Also, too, learn from others. If somebody's impressing you, man, don't find yourself as a man or woman finding yourself kind of being jealous of them, saying, man, and be honest, man, I can appreciate what you got going on. Can you give me some insight on that? You learn from others, or is your pride go stop you from that? So, man, talk to me a little bit more about how you do that, man. And then, the hope is that you can reciprocate because, you know what, I tell you, I got some of the mentees that I work with and young people that I reach out to. They've put me on game. They put me up on things that have been extremely beneficial for my business and my work. So you can definitely always learn from others, whether you're the OG or the young G trying to get your game on. Elevate your peer group. Met a very impressive young man randomly. I won't go into too many details, but if he sees us, he knows who he's in. Nice young man, nice personality. In this world, you start with that, man, you got an edge. You got an advantage. You can just be warm. And I'm not saying not to be your authentic self. I'm not saying to be what they would say a kiss up, but just be genuine in who you are, engaging. And he was talking about the challenges that he was having because what he wants to do next in his life, relying too much on his peers to go along with him. And you guys know with the advice I gave, you know how life is. I said, man, you got to go at it alone and be okay with that. And it was a very warm message for him. And I think this young man's going to have a very bright future. But, your peer group, either they roll with you or you don't. I always say, meet me at the top. If your friends can't move in a way where they can move individually and meet you where you're going, where you don't have to just pull them along the way, or you can't go unless you bring them, or you can't make a move without them, that's not the group you need to be in. You need to be in a group, say, hey, man, this is how we move. This is what we do. So you feel elevated. So elevate your peer group or be with a peer group that's going to elevate you. You got to keep that in mind. Get a coach or a mentor. I just talked about mentorship. Don't be too humble to ask, hey man, can you I'm looking for a mentor, male or female, and then take advantage of that time. Don't overlook their time. Don't bypass their time. Don't set meetings and don't occur. Don't just think it's all about, talking big, but you're not really showing up. Do that and then find out some things you want to work on. Somebody who can help you. Or if you're a professional, you may say, you know what, I don't want to deal with none of these jokers. Maybe I need to go find someone I can hire that can help me with some things. In my work as a sports psychology consultant, when I come in and work with players and teams, first thing I say, look, I'm not here to impact your minutes. I'm not here to tell on you. I'm here to give you an objective perspective, someone on the outside. So that's what a coach can help you do. And that's something to keep in mind. And lastly, don't give up, y'all. Don't give up. Michelle, you would know, we talk about back in Detroit, the electrifying mojo that would be on the radio, and he would say, hey, if you at the end of your rope, tie a knot. That's right. You have to have that mindset. Like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give up. That's really important. And I think one of the items I may have missed, maybe number 3, I see it wasn't up there, is being disciplined. I'm reminded that being disciplined of what you have to do. Stay on your regimen. X, if you know you got to go get some shots up, man, stay on that. I know I want to go to the gym. I always talk about my health. That's when I come back, I'll check my blood sugar. The goal for it to be under 100. So you got to stay disciplined on what you're working on. And sometimes you got to go at it alone. Hell, most times you got to go at it alone. And respectfully, we come in this world alone, and respectfully, we leave alone. So to be able to manage things on your own is okay. And those that can join in with you as you go is a good thing. Count it as more, count it as a blessing. So that was just on me today, folks, just to share with you that adversity is promise, and it doesn't have to be a negative thing. But if you are trying to achieve more, if you're trying to reach those goals you said, if you believe there's more for you to achieve and receive in this world, there's going to be some adversity, planned or unplanned. Sometimes you can know what the adversity is going to be by just watching or researching or talking to somebody, but sometimes it comes out the blue. And what are you going to do? You're going to be negative about it, or you're going to sit back, you're going to learn a lesson from it. So I hope today can just be a positive influence for you and what you have, that you can go on to this Monday feeling great about conquering the world, conquering your goals, and just being in a great mindset. I feel great, and I just want to share that energy with you. I want to wish you all the best. I want it to be a great week. Looking forward to some great things happening, and I will keep you guys posted. And lastly, I just want to shout out my folks again. Great message, OG. I appreciate you, X. You're a good brother, man, and all the best. And Michelle says, do your best. It's good enough. That's right. Do it. Do your best. And if you know you did your best, you're going to be okay. So I want to salute you all, wish you the very best, and have a great day, have a great week, have a great month, have a great year, have a great life. This is Lindsay Ellis with SPS. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.